Hey guys. All right, so we're gonna make sure that this is actually going live on the YouTubes. So bear with me here. Just check in. Yeah, it says we're live. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, that's awesome. Where do I want this? I think I want this right here. Hi guys. Hello. I love you. Thanks for coming over. Um, we're gonna do a wild reading today, I have a feeling. Actually, if we have time, we're gonna do two readings. There'll be two separate recordings because that's easier for me when editing and making clips and all of that stuff. So I've got our pre-shuffle done, and before we get into that, I just want to say if you're watching this on Facebook, I put the link in the description. Head over to the YouTube channel Firm Hand Tarot and subscribe over there, okay? Because Facebook really messes with me. There's a lot going on in censorship. Like, for example, they won't even show me how many views my videos get. So we're going to start transitioning away from Facebook. YouTube is full of censorship also, but really the only thing that they are holding over anyone's head is monetization, and we don't give two shits about monetization, okay? So head over to Firm Hand Tarot on YouTube, subscribe there, share that, please and thank you. And yeah, let's get into it. So to start off our pre-shuffle, we have the Two of Wands. You see that? The Two of Wands in the Patch Tarot deck, its main energy is Genesis. The Two of Wands is beginning an action, being at the very beginning of something, okay? And then to clarify that, we have the Justice card, the Balance card. Show that to you there. Okay. Get a little closer. She's so pretty. This is talking about balancing our energies, okay? Your light side, your dark side, your masculine side, your feminine side. I don't care how macho or feminine you are, you have both of those energies within you. And we're talking about balancing ourselves to become more effective, okay? And then to come up clarifying our Genesis card where the whole pre-shuffle is starting from. Where is he? There we go. Is the Wheel of Fortune. This is the Wheel of Flow in the Patch Tarot deck. Let me show that to you guys. Okay. This is essentially, you can think of it as the wheel of karma. And sometimes you're on the bottom of the wheel, right? And the wheel is rolling you over, okay? Or rolling over you, I should say, right? That's when you're receiving bad karma, okay? But bad karma is an opportunity to learn. Everything happens for you, not to you. And sometimes you can find yourself on the upswing of that wheel of karma. You can find yourself getting some good karma, but that all depends on your actions. That all depends on how you're conducting yourself in the world, the types of decisions that you're making, and your treatment of others. Okay, the intentions that you step out into the world with will determine where on this wheel of flow you are. And then coming up underneath the Justice and the Wheel of Fortune is our Pragmatic Prince of Discs. This is my Maneuvering in 3D Reality card, my maneuvering card, seeing the ones and zeros and how the real world works and how to work within it. And then right across from that is our Two of Swords, making a blind decision. See that moon? Wait. See that moon in the background? You see that moon? The moon always represents things unknown to us, things that are maybe hidden from us, but are oftentimes things that we can't control. Other people's intentions, the way the stock market is going, all of that stuff, things that we can't predict, right? But the point of this card is that we are making a decision in faith because we know what we know. We trust that we have good discernment, And so we're making a decision even though we don't have all the data, all the details, right? We're making the decision as best we can. That's why it's a blind decision. Coming up underneath that, we have the Child card, the Fool card in traditional tarot. The main energy of this card in this deck, the Patch Tarot deck, is possibilities. That's why it's called the Child card in this deck. Children are full of infinite possibilities. Okay? The Fool in traditional tarot talks about taking a leap of faith. Okay? It talks about going off into the unknown and just seeing where life takes you. And that's why you can be either a real damn fool or you can be a divine fool, right? You're taking a leap of faith and just trusting that everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. And then directly across from that, I will get the display right here so that everybody can see. This is the Six of Wands. This is victory, okay? In traditional tarot, victory, success, the Six of Wands means public recognition. People recognizing your good works and giving and being rewarded for it. Okay? This is coming up across from our Child card, our possibilities card. So what I'm gathering from this is that a lot of us are just at the beginning of something new. I suspect that it's because we have failed in some sense to bring justice into our lives for our sacrifices. And if that's how you felt up until this point, now we are willing to put in the work to change those cycles, that Wheel of Fortune, to change the cycles that have kept us stagnant. And a lot of us haven't actually begun the work, right? Because we're at the very beginning. A lot of us have had maybe an Ace of Wands, divine inspiration, right? But we haven't gotten to the point of actually putting the work in. And that's why we see our Mr. Pragmatism, right? Our Prince of Discs. He's slow moving because he's kind of trying to figure out how to maneuver, right? Beginning a new cycle is difficult because there are a lot of choices that have to be made blindly. That's the Two of Swords that we were talking about. In yesterday's reading, there were twos all over the place. Twos stand for change and choices, making decisions, right? We've got twos in our pre-shuffle here. But we can have faith in our ability to make the right decisions because of our experience. They've taught us a lot about maneuvering through the 3D world and what is required to get the result that we want. The collective is in this place right now, seeing possibility and having faith enough to jump into the unknown territory. But that's really how you achieve success, right? Not just success, new levels of success. So that's where we're starting our reading. That's our pre-shuffle. So let me get rid of this. And we're going to get to work here. I hope y'all are doing good. Thanks for joining me midday on a weekday. I appreciate it. Oh, that's funny. It's not now it's not telling me even how many people are watching. Would you guys do me a favor and just put like a heart or a thumbs up or a fireball or something in the comments so I can get an idea of how many people are watching? Because like I said, Facebook doesn't like me to see how many views I get. It's pretty ridiculous. All right. Ooh. What just popped out? Oh, look at that from yesterday's reading. It's the Queen of Swords. I love her. Look at, she says, ain't nobody got time for this bullshit. That's her whole body language. See her? I'm going to hold her up over here for you guys. See her? Ain't nobody got time. Cut the shit. That's what the Queen of Swords says. She cracks me up. Hi, Justin. Okay. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, it's interesting. But that's why we're transitioning over to YouTube, you guys. because they can't really control like how many subscribers we get, how many views we get, right? The only thing that they can really control is whether or not our videos are monetized, but we don't care about that. That's not why we're there, right? Okay. I'm going to give this one more. All right. And then we're going to start an oracle. Start with an oracle card from the Wildwood Tarot. We'll read that from the book because this deck goes really, really deep. I mean, the illustrations are really beautiful. Tons of symbolism in every single card. All right, so give us one. Hey, Wolfie. We're not having guests on the show today. Sorry, bud. You can sure leave comments, though. All right. What do we got? The Page of Arrows. The Wren. Where do I hold this so you can both see it? In both places. Boom. Okay. All right, let's pull that up. Come on. Where are you at? There we go. Okay. I've gotten this card before, actually. It gives me very much of a Prince of Swords type energy, or Page of Swords, almost like a sneaky kind of energy. But let's read from the book. Study and application brings wisdom and understanding which can be applied to most situations. Your youth and determination will carry you forward, and your skill will bring you to a dynamic realization. As a person in your life, the Page of Arrows is a good companion to see you through trials and challenges because she or he doesn't give up easily. She is known as an observant overseer whose honesty is valued, but she could equally turn those skills to spying or curious snooping. This is like a busybody kind of an energy, you guys. She learns things easily because of her eye for detail. She is dexterous and cunning in a tight place. As an aspect or process, having fortitude through difficulties, daring and agility, determination, thinking the whole plan through. That's our Prince of Discs, our pragmatic energy, right? Our maneuvering energy. Sitting on the fence, right? Waiting to make a decision until you have as much data as you need to feel comfortable about making that decision. As an event or happening, this is a new skill or idea. Challenges, negotiations, or contracts that need close attention. Examinations, auditions, tests, gossip. So you just take what resonates for you guys, however this applies for you. How can you engage flexibly with any situation? What gives you the necessary bravado to face whatever challenges you are seeing? What do you need to learn to overcome? What is the mystery at heart of the matter? So investigation, right? Learning all the things that you need to know before making a decision. So I'm going to put this right up here. Come on, baby. Stay right there. Thank you. Okay. All right, so now we're going to move on to the Illuminated Tarot. We're going to put 4 of these cards down, and then we're going to clarify with the Patch Tarot. If you're watching on YouTube, you can feel free to use the live chat. I think it should be functioning, and actually if you want to leave a comment in there, that would be great because then I can make sure that it's working properly. Okay. So please give us 4 cards. What is the energy of my collective today? I know that we have some new viewers. That's amazing. So I'm expecting y'all to bring in some new energy. I love it. Love it. That's it. Okay, so 5 of Diamonds. Okay, this is our King of Pentacles in this deck, I believe. Let me just look. That's at the bottom of the deck, so this is an underlying energy, but let's see. Let's see what it has to say about the 5 of Diamonds. Oh, it's the Hierophant, tradition, spiritual authority, and deception. Interesting. So we got that at the bottom of the deck. That makes me think of social expectations. Okay. So starting off, we have the 5 of Hearts. The 5 of Hearts is learning from mistakes, moving forward. Let me hold this up for you. The symbolism is really close to the 5 of Cups in traditional tarot, although this is not a traditional deck. But you see that we have 2 cups upright and then 3 are laid over. A lot of times in traditional tarot, the 5 of Cups talks about regrets. But in this, it's learning from mistakes, moving on from your mistakes, right? My High Priestess talks about how loss is not defeat. And I think that this card really embodies that. If you look, even though those cups are spilled over, there's still abundance there, right? Look at all the flowers growing out of the cups. And that really is true if you look at your mistakes not as mistakes, but as learning opportunities. There's always an abundance of learning opportunities when you feel like you've made a misstep, right? And opportunities are abundance. So that's how we're starting off this reading. With that Page of Arrows, the Ren energy, observing, right? Hey, thanks you guys. Thank you. It is working. That's wonderful. That Ren energy talks about being an observer, right? Gathering data, learning as many skills as possible to give you a leg up in whatever your endeavors are, right? But mainly the energy of that card to me, like I said, it's almost a sneaky energy. It's sitting back, observing the situation, and then going into your own fountain of knowledge to understand how to maneuver through those situations. And this 5 of Hearts energy is very much the same, learning from mistakes, right? Learning, observing, understanding the situation so that you can move forward. Our next card up is the 9 of Clubs. 9 of Clubs. This is the Sun in this deck. Clarity, simplicity, new life. Yesterday's reading was talking about forgetting about all of the wants and desires of the material world, but focusing on the abundance that we have, the blessings that we have, that we can't even control. The fact that the sun comes up every day, right? The fact that we wake up every single day, you can't control that, right? The fact that if you're able-bodied, you're able to move how you want, have the freedom of movement that you want to have. Getting down to the basics, understanding what level of reverence is appropriate for the blessings that we have in our lives that we have no control over. And it's interesting that this says new life on this card, because that really is like creating a new life for yourself. When you are letting go of a negative mindset, right? And you're choosing to see your blessings, that's a new way of living for most people. So that's really pretty beautiful for that to come out in that way. Because then right after, we have the Queen of Diamonds. She's beautiful. Why don't you look at her? I feel like this is a little dark on Facebook. Hold on one second, you guys. Let's see if that's better. That's a little bit better. I don't know how much, but it's a little bit better. Okay, so the Queen of Diamonds speaks about a bond between the internal and the external, mastery, not control of nature. So the Queen of Diamonds correlates with the Queen of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And what this is talking about is an abundance mindset. The Queen of Pentacles looks over her kingdom and she allocates resources where they're needed, right? She helps the king decide, like, oh, you know, that crop over there, we need to focus on irrigation on that crop. And she delegates responsibilities to people to make sure that this work over here gets done, right? The Queen of Pentacles is a nurturing energy. And so it's interesting that it says a bond between the internal and the external. So let's think about that for a minute. When you are cultivating an internal world for yourself, that shows up in the external world, in the 3D reality, as a change in your behavior. When you are building up a firm foundation for yourself, I'll be really surprised if a Tower card doesn't come out today. But when you're building up a firm foundation for yourself, or at least an Ace of Pentacles, that would, yeah. Anyways, that's the energy that I'm getting, is Tower, Ace of Pentacles. Because building up a firm foundation within yourself means what? Strength of character, okay? It means determination. It means faith in not just yourself, but faith in your creator, faith in your place in the world, faith in your abilities, right? When you build up that internal world within yourself, you begin to maneuver differently in the external world. And you begin to make changes in the external world. This is kind of what people are talking about when they say living as an example. Be the example, right? It's really wonderful. And then we have the Three of Spades. Let me turn that for you guys. The Three of Spades. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It just looked dark for some reason. Even though this place, like, the sun is shining, it's really bright in here. Okay, Three of Spades. Moving beyond sorrow, understanding one's own feelings. So, Spades in this deck is Swords energy in traditional tarot. Swords energy is thoughts. It can be conversation, you know, anything having to do with communication, things like that. But what this card is talking about is communication with one's own self, communication between the mental space and the emotional space, the head space and the heart space, understanding your feelings, not just feeling your feelings, but understanding why it is that you feel the way that you feel. The shadow came up, our shadow aspects of ourselves came up really strongly in yesterday's reading. And what that reading really was talking about was balancing your polarities, right? Balancing your light side and your dark side. In this reading specifically, it's talking about balancing the heart and the mind. Understanding why you feel the way you feel. Not just I feel mad, but why you feel mad. Because let me tell you, those triggers are your shadow self. It's the parts of your ego that are trying to protect you, trying to keep you from feeling hurt, all of that stuff. The shadow aspects of yourself get triggered when something external is bumping up against you and making you feel discomfort, right? So this card is talking about understanding why you're triggered, or understanding why something makes you happy, understanding your feelings, because it's not enough to just feel your feelings. That can be confusing as shit, right? But understanding why you feel that way, that's how you begin to balance the energy. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Yep, Firm Hand Tarot on YouTube. There's a link in the description of this video on Facebook. I don't know if you can click that link or not, or if you can copy and paste or whatever, but you should be able to find it that way. But if you just search Firm Hand Tarot channel, it should pop up. Okay. All right, guys. I want to get into clarifiers because then that means we get to get out the patch tarot deck, and that's my favorite. And we already shuffled this one. This is what we did our pre-shuffle with, what we got that beginning energy. Oh, wow. They are just jumping out. Look what jumped out. We have the devil. I'm going to put him back because I wasn't quite ready, but isn't this the kindest devil card you've ever seen? Usually in tarot, they make him look all scary. But like, you know, he looks benevolent enough. Kind of gives me Spirited Away vibes. I don't know if you guys know that anime, but we're going to put him back. He can go back in. Please give me 3 cards for the 5 of Hearts. This is our moving forward energy, you guys. Moving forward. We've got the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have the Child card. Possibilities. Yeah, you can see that pretty good. Possibilities. Traditional tarot, this is a leap of faith. Then we have the Ten of Swords, closure. Okay. Now, in traditional tarot, the Ten of Swords is a man laying on his belly, and there are 10 swords stuck in his back. What I love about this deck is those swords are all sticking right into his most vulnerable place, his soft belly, right? Do you know what that means? That means that this little character saw every single one of those swords coming at him. Think about that. When we're in tune with our intuition, we can see all of the things that are coming at us that are going to hurt us. We can see them. They're called red flags, you guys. Red flags. He saw every single one of these coming at him. Why did he allow himself to get jabbed? That's a good question. But the energy of this card is closure. That means an end to allowing things to hurt us. That doesn't mean that we build a big shell around ourselves, right? We become a protective crab energy, Cancer energy, a hurt Cancer energy, right? We're a hermit crab and we go deep in our shell and we don't allow anything in. That's not what that means. It means that when we see corruption, we cut it out, Queen of Swords energy. And if it's not something that can be negotiated, if it's not something that can be reasoned with, it's got to go. Because if you ignore the red flags, you'll end up like this eventually. This is coming up. Remember, this is clarifying our 5 of Hearts, our moving forward, right? Moving forward past hurts. A leap of faith to close out these painful cycles. 10s in tarot are always the end of cycles. It means it's over, it's done. I'm not allowing this anymore because I see possibilities. Child card, I see possibilities for a brighter future for myself. Look, do you see how he's pointing in the air? And where he's pointing, his finger is creating ripples in the air, in the energy field around him. I'll hold this up for you guys too. Okay? He sees a brighter future for himself, and he's not. Why would you continue this cycle? Right? The Wheel of Fortune came up in our pre-shuffle. Why would you continue a painful cycle when you have so many beautiful possibilities right in front of you that you can see? He can see these possibilities. He's pointing to them. Why would you not move forward past things that have hurt you? Right? How do we do that? because it's hard, you know, whether you've been in an abusive relation. Let's use that because that's a really good example. You could be in an abusive relationship either with a partner, or it could be at work, a boss, an abusive boss. That's a real thing, you know. Abusive children, that's a real thing, right? How do you, when you have very detrimental circumstances in your life that are maybe very, very close to you, like a boss, like a partner, like a child, how do you put an end to the pain that the cycle with that energy is creating in your life? And the Hierophant comes out, our spirituality card comes out to remind us that when we are living in our intuition, you can see this little character on this card. That's the High Priestess in this deck. Okay? You see her? That's the High Priestess. What she's doing is she's relying on her intuition, her imagination. That's your connection to source. However you view your creator to be, that's your connection with the Holy Spirit, with source, with God, with your creator, Allah. I don't care what you call it. You can call it whatever you want. But understanding that in whatever decisions you have to make, you are never alone. You're never alone in making those decisions. Your intuition is there to guide you on the best way to be able to end these cycles for yourself. So when you're relying on this energy, the Hierophant energy, when you're relying on your spirituality, on your intuition, your imagination, which is your spark of divinity, sorry guys on Facebook, your spark of divinity, there kind of is no excuses. There's no excuses for continuing those painful cycles, because what you're doing is you're hurting yourself at that point. If you know that you're in an abusive situation, if you know that you're participating in maybe an addictive behavior, or if you know whatever it is, whatever the cycle is that you continue to participate in, even though you know that it's hurtful to you, once you know, then it's kind of on you if you continue to participate. And so the Hierophant comes out. The Hierophant in traditional tarot is like, it represents institutions like governments or hospitals or courthouses or whatever. It's like, this is the law, right? And the law is natural law. I'm not talking about man's law. The law is, if you value yourself the way that you're meant to, if you love yourself the way that you're meant to, meaning you understand that you're a child of God, and therefore any hurt that you allow to come onto you is your responsibility. Once you're aware of the source of it, if you continue to participate in hurtful energy, then that's on you. You have a responsibility to yourself to care for yourself, to love yourself. And this could be, again, going back to an abusive relationship, leaving an abusive relationship, or an abusive job. That's a real thing, you guys. And I know a lot of you that are in abusive work environments, okay? I talk to you guys a lot, okay? Abusing your body through addiction, a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, food addiction, whatever it is. If you are truly loving yourself the way that your creator loves you, why would you hurt yourself? Why would you continue to expose yourself? Okay. This is getting deep. They're not messing around with these cards today. My goodness. Let's leave that right there. We can come back to it later if we need to, but let's clarify our Nine of Clubs. Again, if you guys are watching on Facebook and you haven't subscribed to Firm Hand Tarot on YouTube and you enjoy these readings, please go over to YouTube and subscribe, because we're not going to continue these on YouTube. I don't know when I'll phase it out completely, but at some point we're going to have to end, because the censorship that's happening on YouTube is no bueno. No bueno. Oop, cards popping out. I'm going to take this one. Hold on, we need two more, please. Two more. Come on. All right. My goodness, you guys. Okay, so the 9 of Clubs is our Sun card, right? There's our Sun card. There he is. Okay. There's our Sun card. This is simplicity, new life, okay? Now that takes on a whole new meaning considering how we were clarifying our 5 of Hearts earlier, right? No longer willingly participating in things that are hurting us. New life, okay? And to clarify that, we have the 7 of Swords. In the Patch Tarot deck, this is Crisis. Now look at how this poor character is backed up to the edge of a cliff and everyone around him has swords pointed at him. Let's see. Can you guys see that? So 7 of Swords in traditional tarot is a man carrying a bunch of swords, and he's walking away from an army camp at like right before dawn, right? He's walking away from an army camp carrying all of their swords, sneaking away with all of their swords. And the reason that he's doing that is because he knows that if they don't have weapons to fight him with, then he's going to be more advantageous the next day in battle. Okay, it's sneaky energy, deceptive energy. It's also doing whatever you have to gain an advantage. That's the bad guy in that card. I mean, maybe. Might be, if you want to read it that way. But the 7 of Swords isn't always terrible energy, right? Now, deception, Mr. Adjustable, deception is never good, right? He's the main villain. I mean, I guess if you want to read it that way. But the traditional interpretation of the 7 of Swords is a man who is stealing swords from the army so that he gains an advantage of battle the next day. No, I understand what you're saying. I'm not going to argue about it with you. Do you want me to give you the down and dirty interpretation of the 7 of Swords, which I never read it this way? I never read it this way. Down and Dirty Tarot says this is someone lying, sneaking, cheating. Okay? Lying, sneaking, cheating. You want to know how I read this card? What the fuck did you do that made everyone turn on you? This is a card of self-realization. This is a card of realizing exactly what it is that you've done wrong to cause people to not view you in a good light anymore. That's how I read this card. What the fuck did you do? Okay? New life. Okay? 9 of Clubs, Sun card. New life. I don't know about you guys, but I believe in atonement. I believe that it does not matter what you've done in your life. If you realize your wrongs and you take active steps to change not just your behavior, but your treatment of other people, then you can have atonement. I give the exact example of Moctezuma when Cortez and the rest of the Spaniards showed up. Okay? Up until that point, Moctezuma was sacrificing thousands and thousands and thousands of not just his own people, but neighboring tribes to his war god every single day. Every single day he would march his own people up the steps of the pyramid and sacrifice his own people because he thought that that's how he was going to gain the approval of his war god. And then the Spaniards showed up, okay? And when the Spaniards showed up, he was told through his ritual, he was told that these people were going to be the end of him. And what did he do? He doubled down on his sacrifices, saying, no one's going to beat me because I have the favor of my war god. And the more I sacrifice to him, the more he's going to support me, and I can make these white devils work to my advantage. I think you guys know how that worked out for him. You heard of Moctezuma's revenge? He was known as a coward to his people, and it's debated, but there is a painting depicting Moctezuma on a balcony as he's basically telling his people that he's giving his kingdom over to the Spaniards. There's a painting depicting him getting stabbed by one of those Spaniards. It didn't work out well for him. Let me ask you, we're talking about atonement. Let me ask you, what would have happened if, when he got word that the Spaniards were on their way, what would have happened if he had gone to the top of that pyramid and shouted out as loud as he could to all of his people, I fucked up. I've been taking advantage of my power. I have not treated you as the children of God that you are, and I'm sorry, but I became power hungry. I loved the authority that I had over all of you. And I see now that I'm wrong. I see now that I cannot beat these people, these Spaniards. I cannot beat these people on my own. We need to all stick together. Not just my kingdom, but all of the neighboring kingdoms that I have abused. I am sorry. But if we're going to come out on top, we need to be together on this. Do you think that those people would have listened to him then? Maybe not. But he would have been doing the right thing. Right? What he did was Seven of Swords energy. That's what he did. And you see this guy trying to defend himself against all the accusations coming at him. So yeah, maybe my collective is really thinking about all of the fuck shit that you've been up to. Or maybe you're thinking about all of the fuck shit that's been done to you. Or maybe you've been thinking about all of the terrible stuff that's been projected onto you and how you reflected it back as opposed to rejecting it. Hurt people hurt people. This is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups reflects back what is projected onto her. If you show her love, she will show you love. If you show her hate, she will show you hate. If you're confused, she'll be confused. She does not know how she feels in any given situation. And so life happens to her, not for her. Okay? What is that telling us? Hurt people hurt people. The end of a cycle, Ten of Swords, the end of a cycle requires that you understand how you have been hurt and why, so that you can make sure that that never happens to you again. Okay? And once you understand how it is that you've been hurt, just like an illness, there's no hope in healing, right? There's no hope in healing until you know what is ailing you. There's no hope in getting better until you understand the disease so you can determine the treatment, right? Once you understand what's hurting you, then, hold on, where is she? Star card. Then you can have healing. This is the Star card in the Patch Tarot deck. Specifically, this is their faith card. Having faith that you will be healed. Okay? Having faith that you are going to be able to balance whatever is going wrong in your life so that you can move forward. That Five of Cups energy. Having healing. Having faith that you will be healed from whatever it is that you've done or was done to you. so that you no longer continue as a hurt person hurting people. Let's move on from that because that was intense, you guys. Like I said, I knew that we have new people in the collective lately, and that shows up. That shows up because most of my collective has heard these messages before, that you are worthy of atonement, that you're worthy of self-love, that there is nothing that you've done in this world that you cannot redeem yourself for. Let's not beat ourselves up. Let's put 3 cards on the Queen of Diamonds. I said it, I'll be shocked if the Ace of Discs doesn't come out, and then by golly, there it is. But first, let's get to clarifying our Queen of Diamonds. Let's read her again, just so she's fresh in your mind. A bond between the internal and external, mastery, not control, of nature. So if you think about it, the Queen of Diamonds is the opposite of narcissism. Mastery, not control. If you look right there, so the Queen of Diamonds correlates with the Queen of Pentacles. And you can see here, it looks like she's holding one of those diamonds right here, right? Holding a pentacle. So coming out to clarify her, we have the 7 of Cups, illusions. This can also be wishful thinking, but illusions. This man is floating through space and it looks like his body is disintegrating. He's trying to reach for something, but he doesn't even know which cup to reach for. There's too many options. And basically, which one is not an illusion? Which one is the real choice to make? That's another 7. We have 7 of Swords, and then we have 7 of Cups. Then after that, we have the King of Cups. And actually, he's coming directly opposite of the Queen of Cups. So we have divine counterparts here. That's beautiful. That means balancing of energies. You see him? Hold on, I like to point this out. You see that cheesy grin he's got on his face? Hold on, where is he? Come on. Show the people your smile. There we go. What I really like to point out about the King of Cups is that whereas the Queen of Cups is a little unstable, right? Because she's reflective. She's going to reflect back to you whatever it is that you're projecting onto her. She doesn't know how she feels about anything. The King of Cups, on the other hand, has thought deeply about how he feels, and he understands his feelings. And therefore, sometimes people say that he's a little bit cold or he's a little bit detached, but that's not really the case. He understands deeply how he feels about things, and so he doesn't have to wear his heart on his sleeve. He's not brash, he's not irrational, he's not confused, none of those things, because he has taken time within himself to master his emotions, becoming the master, not controlling, right? And then right after that, we have the Ace of Discs, formation. I said you guys were a lot of us are at the beginning of something. We haven't actually started putting the work in yet because there's a lot to maneuver around. There's a lot to understand. Right now we're in the data collection phase of whatever our new endeavors are going to be, whether that be new jobs, relationships, new parenting styles, new education, whatever it is. Aces are always a gift from the universe. This in particular is Pentacle energy, which is 3D reality, a 3D reality gift from God, gift from the universe to support you in the building of a new foundation for yourself. So what these cards opposite each other, the Seven of Swords opposite the Seven of Cups, right? Crisis energy opposite illusion. Reflective energy in the Queen of Cups as opposed to responsive energy from the King of Cups. Faith and healing that we find in the Star card. Through faith and healing, you receive your gift from the universe. You receive that firm foundation. Ace of Discs. Now, the really heavy card in the reading, Three of Swords, or Three of Spades. Three of Swords in traditional tarot. Let's read that one more time because I want it to be fresh in your guys' memory. Moving beyond sorrow, understanding one's own feelings. King of Cups, understanding your feelings. Not being in illusions, not letting other people project emotion onto you and then taking that emotion on as your own, right? That's not what we do here. We understand how we feel. We can be empathetic and not let that drown us in other people's emotions. Understanding our own feelings. Please, can we have 3 cards for the Three of Discs, or I'm sorry, Three of Spades? Where are we at? Almost an hour, so that's good. We're getting there. I like to make these about an hour. If we go a little bit over, I don't mind. I don't mind. Ooh, we'll take that one. I can't get a good shuffle going. Hold on, guys. Queen of Swords at the bottom again. We're going to shuffle this real quick. I don't know what's up with that. This energy today is a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of shame floating around, a lot of guilt, a lot of regrets floating around. Let's just clear the energy out, you guys. Let's take a deep breath. Clean out your space a little bit. And then we'll continue. One more time. Y'all are intense today. But, I mean, we've been talking about it. You guys getting your shadow work done, all of that stuff. And that's an intense energy, right? That's what you have to do so that you can realize Seven of Swords. You can realize how it is that you fucked up and how it is that you need to gain your atonement, right? Shadow work, babies. Hell yeah. I'm proud of you. Ha! There it is. All right. Understanding your own feelings. Being pragmatic, Prince of Discs. This is our maneuvering card. Being pragmatic about the data that you collect, about understanding the red flags around you, understanding your own responsible behavior, right? Being pragmatic and understanding how to maneuver through social situations, relational situations, business situations, parenting situations, educational situations, understanding how the 3D world works. If I hurt someone, they're going to be likely to hurt me back. That's called blowback, right? Understanding and being pragmatic about how you conduct yourself in the world. Okay? Understanding with the Wizard card, the Magician card, understanding that you have the power of creation and you get to choose what you create. This goes back to the very beginning of the reading. You get to choose to end your painful cycles. You get to decide what type of life you want to live, and you have the power to create that. If you are going around unconsciously creating in the world, what kind of a world are you creating for yourself? If you've been hurt and then you in response hurt other people, you're creating a hurtful life, a hurtful world. If you heal from your hurts, if you heal from the wrongs that have been done to you, and you refuse to continue that hurt on to other people, your children, which will carry that hurt onto their children, which will carry that hurt onto their children for the next 7 generations. If you choose to act differently, to heal yourself, because that's all you can do. No one can heal you but you. Emotional trauma, mental trauma. Nobody can fix that for you. You have to be the one to decide to do it. If you can do that, then you have the ability to become a conscious creator. What does that mean? That means that you already have all of the tools that you need in your little magic toolbox. You have the mental fortitude, the emotional strength, the spiritual steadfastness to be determined, to be kind, to have good intentions for yourself and others, right? And then at that point, you have the power to create whatever it is that you want to see in the world. And not just you have the power because you're so fucking amazing, which you are. You have the power because you are a child of God and God loves you. And when you love yourself to the level that God loves you, He's going to support everything you do. Your creator, Allah, Jah, whatever you want to call Him, source, spirit, although I don't like spirit because there's a lot of spirits out there. There's only one God, one source that you come from, and it loves you. You know? So because you are willing to conduct yourself with the same respect for other children of God that you have for yourself, because you understand how you should have reverence for yourself as God has reverence for you, why would your creator not support every single effort that you want to make? Because when your intentions from your heart are true, then what you want is what God wants for you. And that's how you motherfucking win this game. Make no mistake. This is a game that we're playing. I mean, it's not a game in that this is life or death, right? But it is a game in that once you learn the rules, you learn how to break all the rules. You learn how to game the game. That's what the magician does. The power of creation. That, my friends, is how you get success. You see that? There's our 6 of Wands again. That came out in the pre-shuffle. That came out in the pre-shuffle, you guys. This is underscoring, underlining the point. You're destined for success. All of you. Are you going to put in the work? In the beginning, at the pre-shuffle, we started with that 2 of Wands, Genesis. You've got the new start. You're looking at a new beginning, but you haven't put the work in yet. What's your work? It's your shadow work. Hurt people hurt people. Put in the work that you need to make sure that you are not hurting anymore. And once you do that, then you can start taking steps towards your creation, what you're here, what you're meant to do, your purpose. And once you're following your life's purpose, everyone has one. You are here to lead a meaningful life, or live, a meaningful life. And once you're doing that, there is no way that you won't succeed because the universe will conspire in your favor. Look up that quote. It's beautiful. That's it, you guys. That's the reading. That was intense. So thanks for that. I think I still have energy for another one. I don't know. I need to take a breather. And then I think I'm going to come back and we'll do another one. I don't know what you guys are going through. Just know that I love you. And I view you as worthy. So however you're feeling about yourself, just know that there are people out there. Your soul tribe is out there. People who will understand you, all of the good that you've done, all of the bad that you've done. There are people out there who will understand you and they will back you. They will support you. You don't need to beat yourself up about the things that you feel make you unworthy. because you have the opportunity to heal yourself, heal what's inside of you that caused you to do those behaviors in the first place, so that you never make those mistakes again. You are totally worthy of not just your Creator's love, but all of our love. You are worthy of that, and you have a purpose here. So let's get to it. And thank you for doing the hard work. I can tell from this reading that you guys are doing the hard work. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.